In this video, you'll discover the secret origin of the Happy Ghast. A lone hero challenges rebel gods in a legend destined to stand among Minecraft's greatest epics. When the Nether was first formed, Entity Summoner shaped legions of ghasts for its unending wars. But rumor spoke of one that did not fully conform to its creator's design. Some whispered it carried a trace of good left over from Minecraft, the creator, and its original plan. This anomaly displeased Biomapper and Entity Summoner, who saw no place for pity in their battlefield of flame. To punish what they viewed as weakness, they stripped the creature of its life force. Deserted in the Nether, the ghast lost its natural moisture, its body desiccating under the searing heat. Over countless cycles it hardened, forever trapped in a cracked, husk-like form. Its voice, once a subdued cry, was reduced to faint gasps echoing through basalt deltas. The gods of rebellion left it there as an example of what befell those who clung to hope in a land of ruin. Thus did the ghast linger, dried out and bound to the Nether's scorching heat for eternity. Eons later, a mortal named Idalos ventured into that fiery realm. He was no ordinary wanderer, but a hero, guided by signs and prophecies left in ancient shrines, temples once touched by the god structure crafter's art. Whispers of a suffering creature had reached him, and his heart was compelled to divine the truthfulness of such tales. Through tunnels of glowing lava and treacherous soul sand valleys he pressed on. Nether beasts assailed him, piglins roaring for battle, wither skeletons stalking the shadows, blazes raining fire from above. At last, in a lonely canyon where the air crackled with silent despair, he found it. The dried ghast, huddled under a mighty skeleton. Its body was a map of fissures, and its labored breath hung like a whisper in the blistering air. Idalos approached, recalling the prophecy that one day a hero might deliver this creature from its curse. Gently, he placed a hand on its roughened form. "I know a way out of this desolation. Let me help you." In that moment, the dried ghast did not resist. Gathering his courage, Idalos carried it across warped forests and scorching deltas until they found a gateway swirling with purple flame. They stepped forth into the overworld, a place where the god world generator had sculpted green fields and rolling hills, where rivers flowed under open skies. Idalos led the dried ghast to a quiet lake, reflecting the dawn's gold light. Unsure of how the creature would react, he placed it into the cool, refreshing water. Ripples shimmered, a hush fell around them, and the cracks on the ancient creature began to close. A sudden flash lit the shore. When Idalos' eyes cleared, he saw something smaller, newly reborn. The dried ghast's brittle shell was gone, replaced by a timid glow of restored life. Over the following days, Idalos sheltered the ghastling, ensuring it could safely adapt to the overworld. Free of the Nether's harsh realm, it gained strength and grew quickly. Though it still bore the pale, drifting form of its Nether origins, a newfound softness tempered its once haunted demeanor. Just as legends foretold, destiny had more in store for them both. A distant village sounded the alarm. Entity Summoner had unleashed a wave of nether creatures into the overworld, determined to sow chaos. Piglins charged en masse, wither skeletons marched with hollow-eyed determination. Blazes hurled flaming orbs into barns and rooftops. Smoke billowed under darkened skies. Idalos heard the cries for help and raced to the scene. The villagers, outnumbered and cornered, braced for a final stand. Summoning his courage, Idalos turned to the ghast, meeting its gaze. By some quiet understanding, the creature lowered itself, allowing him to climb upon its broad, ghostly back. So began a battle worthy of the old epics. The ghast rose into the sky, Idalos astride it, guiding it above the invading forces. The nether monstrosities paused, startled to see one of their own joined with a human companion. Idalos raised his sword, shining in the smoky air. Skeletons, snarling in fury, launched arrows at the airborne duo. Blazes conjured walls of fire, but the ghast cut through the inferno to protect the people below as the evil god Biomapper tore up the very ground beneath them. Little by little, the invading horde lost ground. Their lines broke, and pockets of nether creatures fled toward jagged portals in retreat. Idalos and the ghast circled the skies, ensuring no stragglers remained. Beneath them, the villagers cheered, the setting sun casting a victorious glow over the broken battlefield. When peace returned, the villagers gathered around the lake's shore where the ghast gently settled. Idalos dismounted, weary but triumphant. Few could grasp what they had witnessed. A nether-born creature, redeemed, fighting to defend mortal lives. The gods, Biomapper and Entity Summoner, routed before their eyes. In the days that followed, songs were sung and new tales were carved into the walls of rebuilt halls. They spoke of how Idalos defied the very gods, rescued the dried ghast from endless torment and redeemed it. A restored creature no longer subject to the twisted designs of rebellious gods. In the years that followed, travelers shared the tale in hushed tones around campfires and temple halls. They spoke of the Nether's ravages, the courage of a lone champion, and the creature once doomed to anguish, now redeemed. Some claim that Minecraft, the architect, quietly observed it all. Whether believed or dismissed, the story remains. And perhaps the mighty ghast remains out there to this day, for when a hero is needed again, it may be found once more.